In today's video I will show you how to knit the sleeves. This is the chart we will follow. First, make sure the racking handle is in its highest position. Now raise 88 needles on the front bed of the machine, 44 to the left and 44 to the right side of the center. Place the edge springs on the last working needles. Now raise the opposite 88 needles on the back bed. Place the edge springs on the last working ones. Use the orange ruler and arrange the needles on both beds in a 1-to-1 division. Then move the edge springs on the last working ones. It should look like this. Now set both locks to N and the stitch size to 3. Insert the orange strippers and take an eyelet with waste yarn. Now knit one row. Set both locks to CX and increase the stitch size to 4. Now knit 2 rows. Set both locks to N and increase the stitch size to 5. Now knit 1 row to finish the cast on. Clear the row counter and knit 10 rows without changing the settings on the locks. Clear the row counter and set both locks to CX. Move the lock to the color changer and take an eyelet with another color waste yarn or a ravel cord. Now knit 2 rows. Clear the row counter, then set both locks to N and the stitch size to 3. Move the lock to the color changer and take the main yarn for the sleeves. Now knit 1 row. Set both locks to CX and increase the stitch size to 4. Now knit 2 rows. Set both locks to N and increase the stitch size to 5. Knit 1 row to finish the cast on. Clear the row counter and set the stitch size to 3.5 on both sides of the lock. Now knit 32 rows. Clear the row counter, then set both locks to CX and increase the stitch size to 6. Remove the orange strippers and insert the black ones. Move the edge springs and transfer all stitches from the back bed to the opposite needles on the front bed. Then place the right edge spring back on the last working needle. Use the orange ruler and put all needles on the back bed out of work. Move the left edge spring to the side, then take the small dagger comb and put the last 4 stitches on it. Now use the biggest dagger comb and take the following 40 stitches. In my case I have 88 stitches in total, so I have to transfer half of them to the back bed. You may have a different number of stitches, so in this step you have to transfer half of them to the back bed. Before transferring the stitches, drop the front bed and put a weight close to the leftmost stitch. Please don't forget to support me by liking the video. You can also make my day by leaving me a nice comment. The racking handle is in its highest position, so after you rehang the stitches, you must have the same number of needles in working position on both beds. Now put the edge springs on the last working needles and make sure the latches are closed. Use the orange ruler and put all empty needles out of work. It should look like this. Now knit 2 rows. Don't reset the row counter. Set the stitch size to 5 on both locks. Now knit 18 rows. Don't reset the row counter. Move the right edge springs, take the triple prong tool and move the last 3 stitches at right on each bed 1 needle out. Take the single prong tool and put the purl bumps on the empty needles. These are called full-fashioned increases and we have to do them at right on both beds because the sleeves are knitted tubular. I'm happy that I won't have to sew the sleeves later. Now put the edge springs back on the last working needles. If you want to skip moving the edge springs, you may attach weights close to the end stitches. Now knit 12 rows. Don't reset the row counter. Continue making increases the same way and knit 12 rows every time according to the chart. You may write down the rows to increase just in case you get lost while knitting. When you're done, the row counter must be at 524 rows. Now you can clear the row counter. We must have 86 stitches on each bed. If you have to make more increases, you may need to use the Decker combs and transfer all stitches to the left to get more empty needles. Move the lock to the right and take a contrasting color waste yarn. Now knit 20 rows without changing the settings on the locks. We are almost ready. Clear the row counter, then pull out the yarn tails, cut them and retread the machine. You must knit the second sleeve exactly the same way. Drop the front bed and attach a stitch marker exactly on the fold at right. This will help us when we are sewing the sleeves to the sweater. You can raise the front bed and slide the lock without yarn to drop the knitted sleeve. And this is what the sleeve looks like right after you take it from the machine. The only thing you have to sew later is the ribbing. As you already know, our machines can't knit ribbing in the round. These are the full-fashioned increases we did. Don't forget to knit the second sleeve before I post the next video. That's all for today. Have a nice day and see you next time.